All right, we are live on YouTube. This is Sky Juice coming to you live and direct from the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. And I have Mr. Van Edwards out of New York City. What are we doing today?
Hey, what's up, everybody? How are you? This is Van Edwards, aka Brother Nature, the herbalist, aka I got a million names, but we'll just keep it like that. I don't want to confuse anybody. But yeah, what we're doing is, as of tomorrow, as many of you know, we are starting a month-long 21-day water fast and a 7-day refuel period where we'll be eating raw foods and juices to, reestablish ourselves with the concept of food. But the whole idea of fasting is, there are many reasons why to fast. Those that will be logging in to attend our daily Google Hangout calls, and those times will be, and I got to thank Sky Juice for that. Actually, she put this whole thing together as far as like the broadcast. I didn't know a thing about how to do this Google Hangout thing. I know how to call in, but I don't really know how to set it up. And that's all on Sky Juice, and we all need to thank her for that. And she's nice enough to take her time to have two broadcasts daily. And some of those, because of work requirements, I may not even make at least one of them per day. But she's agreed to do both of them. So I want to applaud you for that, Sky. I really appreciate it. Without you, I don't know how, because I would have just done it according to my schedule. So if I had the mornings free, I would have sent out the blast, okay, the call today is in the morning. And if I had the evening free, I would have done the same. But it was Sky that said, well, I think that we need to have something where everyone knows without a doubt that that call's going to take place at a specific time. So I was like, well, I don't know how to do that because I don't know with my schedule that may not be possible. And Sky was like, well, I'll do it and you make it when you can. So, I mean, I appreciate the support, and what more can I say? But that'll be 8:30 in the morning and 8:30 at night Eastern Standard Time. So whatever that means to you, you need to find out what that is. Right, Sky?
Yeah, because I guess I'm an hour behind you. So for me, it's going to be 9:30 a.m. and p.m. But, it'll work out. So if you're in California or if you're in the UK, there should be a time period where you can catch it. So that's why we're doing both.
Yeah, just
So,
Google it. They have websites for that. Like if you're confused about what 8:30 means Eastern Standard Time and your Pacific time or Mountain time or whatever Central time, you can always Google it. I really don't know what that is. I know California is a few hours behind us in New York, and I think London is a few hours ahead of us in New York. But the safe
right.
way to do
So,
that is just Google it.
so here's just a few questions about the time thing. So tomorrow morning we're going to start our first hangout.
I would like to. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we
Now the
should.
second thing is tomorrow evening is the Super Bowl. Are we going to have a hangout? Because I did plan on going out. So,
Actually, I don't think we should. And because I forgot it was Super Bowl Sunday, I would have started this fast Monday.
right,
I
me
mean,
too. But it's okay. It's
no,
nice
it's
to
all
start on the
good.
first.
Yeah, it's all good. Like it's symbolic, I like that we're starting at the top of the month and we're doing the whole month of February without fail. So I'm glad I didn't remember because I got to admit, if I remembered, it would have been February 2nd to March 1st. But nah, I think tomorrow night. No, let's not do a call tomorrow night.
Okay. So basically, this recording is for folks who we tried to do this last night, but I don't know, I messed up. It's all good. I know how to get the link now to send out everyone. And every time we have a broadcast, it's going to be a new link. So in order to get the link, you're going to have to sign up on the email list so that I can email it to you because your email is the best way to get it. I'm not going to post the link in the group that we have. Um, primarily because there's other people in the group who have been in other programs that I've had, and they're not necessarily a part of this. So I want to keep it close to the folks who are really fasting and who really are part of what we're doing. So it's going to be a link for each one, and the reason why there's going to be a link for each one is because every time we create one of these Google Hangouts, it becomes a separate video that is actually simultaneously broadcast on YouTube. Now, the thing about the YouTube broadcast, and I'll post exactly what is going on in terms of, there's a Google Hangout view and then there's a YouTube view. So it's going to actually be live on YouTube. But the Google Hangout, in order to get on Google Hangout and to actually be a member, like how you see Van and myself are on it, we can actually only have 10 people on this Hangout live. The rest of you, if you don't get in early enough, the rest of you will have to see it on YouTube live on my channel, which I'll give you the information on where to go to see it. And that the reason is that's just how the technology is right now. It's a free service, so we don't go with it. But you can still be a part of it. You can still watch it. The benefit is it's being recorded, so you can watch it later if you can't make it at the times that we are having. And if you are not on to speak and say your piece and say what you need to say, then if you're on the YouTube channel, there's a comment section underneath. You can pose questions, and I'll keep bouncing in and out to check if you have any comments to say that you want to share, what have you. And we could mention such and such wants to know if you have a question. Right now we want to talk about the what ifs, what nots, how to's, and what this is really all about. And Van, I'll let you start.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. Yeah. Okay, so to start the fast, I know when I did my first lengthy fast, which was with a guy named Christopher Aaron, and I met him through Sky Juice's page because I was a friend of hers, and I saw where she posted a video of what he was about to do, and I didn't even know I was going to fast until like 2 days before I actually did it. I had attempted to do fasts in the past on my own, and they were 3-day fasts, and it was just something. First of all, I didn't know how to fast. I didn't understand the concept of fasting, and I didn't know what the benefit of it was other than giving your system a break. I didn't realize that fasting itself is a great tool for not only breaking bad habits, but also for manifesting things into your life that you'd like to acquire. I had no concept of that. I didn't know what to do, so I was drinking the water, probably not enough of it, and I was constantly hungry. The cravings were there. I had headaches. Man, by the time those fasts were done, because I had started the night, let's say Friday night at midnight, I went to bed, and then Sunday morning at midnight, the minute it was over, I was already in the kitchen like 11:30 frying something, because I just wanted to eat, But when I did the fast with Sky and those guys, the group we had the last time, I had no desire to eat really. When the fast was over, it was great. I mean, I wasn't like ready to run to McDonald's or order Chinese food or fry up anything. It was a gentle, eating some salad and I was happy it was over because I wanted to eat, but it wasn't like I had just been brought home to die in my bed. Like I was literally in my bed the last 5 hours suffering, and I felt like I've been brought home to die. It was ridiculous. And but when I did it with Sky and them the last time, first of all, I had fellowship with about 20, 30 people all over the world. That made the difference. Just having a group that you can talk. That's why we wanted to give these calls daily, because it makes a difference when you have others that's doing the fasting labor with you, and you get a chance to express yourself and say how you're feeling, and you also feel the camaraderie of the group. It helps out a lot. It helped me. I didn't think I would get past 7 days, and there were a couple of times that you know, I almost slipped, but then I remembered everybody's face. And when I was in the kitchen, because I would cook for my son daily, and I'd make him the most scrumptious meals, chicken and waffles, you name it. I made him the greatest mac and cheese. I mean, I really put my foot in it. You know what I mean? And there were times that, you know, I was making the shrimp and I wanted to cheat so bad, but then I would remember everybody. It's like they all were in the kitchen with me. And it's like I just couldn't do it, you know, and just having that support, you know, really, really made the difference for me. And then once I got past day 7, day 10, whatever, it was smooth sailing from then. You know what I mean? So just having a group, guys, you know, will make the world of difference. I know there are times that people fast for spiritual reasons and they want to be alone and they go, like some cats will go in the desert for 40 days. I get that. You know, that's different. I'm going to do that myself eventually. But right now, I need a group. If I don't have a group,
Yeah.
like tomorrow night being Super Bowl Sunday, if I didn't have this group, I wouldn't start tomorrow. I would be going to the tailgate parties, you
Right.
know, and eating and doing my thing, and then start, and then you know what happens. Then you don't start Monday. Next thing you know, well, I'll do it next week. Then you don't do it. So I think
Right.
that's what's very important to have a group that you can, you know, be accountable to, you know?
Right. Well, I'm really excited about this too, but we could talk about that tomorrow. Basically, this is what y'all are going to need to get through 21 days and to feel good about it. Um, First of all, if this is your first time fasting, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're
Okay,
fine.
fine, okay. The first thing that you guys need to know is the type of water that you want to drink.
Mm.
Um, there's a lot of information out there, and I've read most of it about fasting. I do not recommend you drinking distilled water for fasting.
Mm.
Distilled water is not a living water. It's not alive. It has completely been processed to clean everything out of it. And you really don't want to drink water that is distilled for fasting. You want to drink a spring water, actually, even if it's alkaline or whatever have you. But a spring water is the best water to drink. Some people get Penta water. You don't want to do distilled, and you don't want to do tap water. Okay, you want to do a spring water, a clean water. I would say a spring water is the best water to drink for this fast. Would you agree, Van?
Yeah, I was gonna drink, like if I drank 4 of these, which is 32 ounces. So if I drank maybe 4 of these a day, 2 of them would have been spring, and 2 of them was going to be alkaline. At least that's how I was going to
Okay.
start off and see how that would work with me. You know, so I
Hmm.
would have done, you know, well, I probably will start drinking maybe a gallon and a half, so maybe 3 of these, and then I'll graduate a few days in, you know, to maybe 4 of these, which would mean like 2 gallons.
Right,
And I was going to do two and two,
right.
two
Another
spring.
thing is how many a day? So what are you buying? You're buying 2 of those and 2 springs?
Yeah, well, actually, these are just bottles that I have. I like the bottles. This was an energy drink of some sort, and
Oh,
it can't do. Yeah, no, I was gonna get like 2 bottled spring waters. I mean, I'm sorry, I was gonna get a gallon of spring water and a gallon of alkaline daily, and then I
okay,
was gonna drink, yeah, like a gallon. 2 of these would make a gallon, so that would be two
right.
springs and then 2 alkalines per day. That's what I would eventually graduate to.
Okay. The next thing you should also do is get a glass container to put your water in. You
Right.
shouldn't be drinking your water out of a plastic jug. So even if you buy it in a plastic container, like a plastic water bottle, then put it in a glass pitcher or a glass jar, or put it in, even if you have these small jars, whatever you have, put it in glass and let your water be stored in glass. And what you should possibly do is, if you can organize yourself to put your glass jars out on your porch or wherever the sun can can energize your water, because you want it to kind of, I guess you could say, burn off the plastic energy that it was in for overnight, for one day, like a 24-hour period. And that way it's in the glass and it's being encompassed by the glass. And I think Van has good ideas about um, what did you do with your water? You put like, did you put like love on your jars and peace and kiss your jars and give the water some
Yeah.
energy? That's really
Yeah, that's
important.
exactly what I did. I followed this doctor, this Japanese doctor named Dr. Masaru Emoto, and he was a guy who understood that water was a living entity. It wasn't like, we don't think about water. We it's just part of like breathing. We don't think about the air we breathe. We just breathe. But he understood that water has memory and water can be programmed. So what he would do was he would do studies where he would say sweet things to the water like I love you, like as if you're talking to a woman, baby, I love you, you're beautiful, I thank you, I need you. And then he would take a picture of the frozen water, the crystals, and the pictures would show such a beautiful depiction of what those words did. It actually made it form some sort of a shape, like a shape of that was really pleasant to look at. And then he would take another glass of water, and then he would say some very derogatory things to it, like hate, and I hate you, and I wish you would die, I can't stand you. And then he would do the same process. He would take a picture of it, and when you look at that, it looks like it's diseased. The water itself it looks like something you would never drink. If you knew that that's what it did. So I decided, let's try that with this fast. So I would take my water and I would kiss it, I would hug it, I would sing to it. I'm glad it didn't run from me because I'm not a great singer, but I would do everything. I would dance with the water. At night I would even have the water nestled like as if I'm loving, like I'm having a love affair with my water, and I would sleep that way, and I would, yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, it seemed to work because I would just say to the water, could you please protect me? Please don't let me be hungry. Please don't let me suffer. Like, give me everything I need. Give me the nutrients I need. Give me the protection. And it seemed to work. I was never really hungry. The last day was the only day I was hungry because I got so tired of drinking water at that point. And I think I was drinking the wrong kind of water. See, when you mentioned distilled water, at that point, I was drinking distilled water. And I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel the way I was feeling the first 20 days of the fast. And that's when I found out the deal with distilled water. I didn't realize that. So
Distilled
I'm
water is
telling
dead
you,
water.
yeah, there's something about channeling your water, and you can YouTube Dr. Emoto, and you can watch it for yourself, and it seems to work. And I tell you, I've done a bunch of things. Like I've went online and I've got like these little things like this. It's sort of like what the universe, a universal code. It sort of like means the Fibonacci code for those of you that understand sacred geometry and all that. There's the seeds of life, the flower of life, the tree of life. You can write a love letter on your water, and you could say I love you, thank you, and it seems to, according to him, it channels the water. You can put on classical music and just put your water next to the speaker, and this has been proven too with plants and with the water itself. I mean, if you put plants
It's
next to
it's
heavy metal,
energy.
yeah, if you put plants next to heavy metal music or gangster rap music, sorry if whoever I'm offending, I really don't care. It tends to kill the plant, and the plant tends to lean the other way. It wants to get away from that. But if you do the same studies where you're putting in some Miles Davis jazz, or you're putting in some classical music, or some R&B, like the old love songs, that plant starts to lean into the speaker. It wants to be next to that, and it grows too. It starts to grow. So we are plants. I mean, if you look at the hemoglobin, which is the plant's blood, it's structured the same way as the cellular structure is the same as our blood. It's just that our blood is red, our plasma is red, and the plasma of the plant is green. But it's the same cellular structure. We are plants. So I
Absolutely.
mean, and we're 75% water. So is the planet. So if
So
this can be programmed, we can be programmed, and so can the planet. So that's my theory on that.
And to continue that conversation, the reason why someone would want to do a water fast for 21 days, I'm going to give you what I think the biggest lesson is in this is, you know, fasting has been done by numerous master teachers in the world. And the reason why, from what I've understood, the reason why that they've done fast is so that they can learn discipline. Um, you know, the body is a machine that was designed to fast. We are designed to go for a period of time without actually eating solid food. There's nothing, you know, if you put it out there, and if I post on my wall about fasting, I mean, I even have friends who message me they inbox me like, you shouldn't be doing this, and it's dangerous not to eat food, and you know, I love you, Sky, but you know, this is not good. And I was like, well, what have you read? Tell me the books you've read about fasting. Like, what do you know about it? Where's your understanding of how the body processes water, and how long people can go on water, and how many ailments are being healed through water fasting? Like, tell me what you've read that counteracts. Oh, I haven't read anything, but I just know. I said that's not enough for me. So once you give me some real factual information with people dying of water fasting, and you know, all the information that I've read and I've studied, people are healing their bodies. And you know, the reason why water fasting is not mainstream is because if folks really analyze what the medical system is all about, it's a big business. And pharmaceuticals are marketable because they can control how it's being manufactured and how much they're going to charge. You know, a lot of the chemicals that are being put in a lot of these medications that people are consuming, when they charge the consumer or their insurance companies, they're like 500 to 1,000 times the amount of the cost, which the markup on pharmaceuticals is outrageous compared to most any markup of anything that's sold retail. So in my opinion, it's like a big conspiracy out there. I do believe that there are doctors in the world that do want to help people heal, but I really think that the true healers are not in any hospital, and I really feel like there's herbs, there's nature, there's water, there's things out there that can totally heal our bodies, and I really feel like folks need to educate themselves, and the best way to educate themselves is to experience it. Experience is the best teacher. So why would one water fast? Not only will they receive all these benefits through their body, but they're also going to receive discipline, because a lot of the issues why we have all the ailments we have in the world is because we are so addicted to what is easy, what is fast, what is unnatural, what is junk, sugar, fat, oil, sugar, flour, all these foods that we consider tasty are really the demise of our health. Now in 2015, human beings are the unhealthiest that they've ever been on the face of the planet in the history of mankind. Human beings are, even when there was the bubonic plague in Europe, people were healthier then than they are now. So we don't realize that we're living in a time of a plague. Diabetes, cancer, heart disease, all these issues that are going on in our culture seem like, you know, everyone, if you talk to anyone, everyone knows someone who has diabetes, cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure. Everyone knows someone, and they know people who have all three, all the above. You know, they have everything. And everyone's on medication, and everyone's depressed, and it just speaks to the fact that we're actually living in a plague. We don't realize it, and nothing that the medical establishment is doing is healing us at all. They're not healing us at all. We have more technology, we have more doctors, we have more medical schools, and we have more people getting sick, we have more people dying. You know, they always look at crime on news as being like, you know, oh, the hood, the ghetto, people are dying in the hood, you know, all this stuff, but people are killing themselves by what they eat. And more people die. The number one killers on the planet are, I mean, in the Western Hemisphere, in the Western world, is what people are eating. So that's why we need to look at water fasting seriously, because 10 days, just your first 10 days on water alone is going to start to eliminate the amount of cholesterol that's in your system. Why? Because when you start water fasting, your body starts to consume that which doesn't belong. Okay? That's what is going on. That's why people come out healthier on the other side of a fast, because you're not eating. It gives the body a time to completely rest. It gives the body time to process all the crap that's in your system. And one of the things that it does, it starts to consume all this extra cholesterol in your arteries. And so people come out of a water fast almost without, they require no more medication for high blood pressure. You know, that alone should be a #1 reason why anyone would want to join a water fast. So these are things that, this is why as a group it's amazing. Another thing you'll hear a lot of is people saying that you really shouldn't do a water fast unless it's medically supervised. First thing about that is find a doctor who will medically supervise a fast, okay? There's none around, okay? There are fasting centers. There's only one that I know of in California called True North Health Institute. They actually have medical doctors there, and I do recommend them because I listened to Dr. Alan Goldhammer's videos and recordings and read his book as well. But honestly, my personal belief on why they say that is because, once again, if you go to a center to do medically supervised water fasting, then there's an opportunity for money to be made once again. Water fasting is one of the most efficient forms of healing of the human body, and it costs nothing. It costs little to nothing. You know, the worst thing is we have to buy a case of water, which is like $5, and and that's a good 5 days. So that's some of the conversation that we're going to be having. What I encourage folks, because I don't think we should talk that long on this video, Van, because we're going to be talking a lot during the month. The one thing I encourage folks to do is to just start it and go day by day, and don't even commit to 21 days because that might be way too deep for folks. Just commit to day 1, commit to day 2 after that, and just go day by day and just feel how you feel and process. And we'll talk about how you're going to feel. I mean, there's going to be feelings that come up, and the biggest feeling beyond feeling headache and hungry and nauseous, the biggest feeling you're going to feel is that emotional detox and that relationship that we have with food. Folks have their relationship with food is deeper than their marriage.
Yes.
So
that's right.
Yes, I already know.
That's right. That's right. Hey, I used the last fast we did to get over a relationship.
Exactly.
And when you fast, I mean, like Sky is saying, I mean, to paraphrase her and to go a little deeper, I think it really connects you with the universe, really. I mean, because what happens is, like she said, your body starts flushing out all the toxins. You get rid of all the mucus. If you're one of these people that's like, sometimes I ride the train, every time I get on the train and the bus, somebody does that hawking thing where they're sniffing up the phlegm and that type of thing. Like, you lose all of that. Like, you don't have that anymore. That comes from dairy and meat. That's where that comes from. And when you're giving your body that break, you're getting rid of that. But yeah, like Sky said, we won't go on too long tonight. We just want all of you to view this and then just bring your experience to the calls. And we'll all every day we'll talk about. Some of you can make it in the morning, some of you can't, and then some of you can make it at night. It doesn't, to me, without the group, I would not have made it last time. We'll discuss things like she said, like the things you're going through emotionally, taking it day by day. If it's your first fast, you don't have to go for 21 days. That's what I choose to do. That's what Sky chooses to do. We've done this before. You may get to 7 days, and that might be enough for you right now, and that's fine. You didn't fail. I mean, hey, you fasted for 7 days? That's amazing. You know how many people who would never even attempt to do even 12 hours? So that's amazing. So, we'll talk about elimination. We'll talk about the use of enemas, because once you stop eating, your body will not be able to release you won't be able to go to the bathroom in that way. So you'll have to use an enema. We'll talk about that. So everybody, welcome. I'm just glad to have you. It's so much easier to do it, with a group, and I'm so pleased that Sky has agreed to join me, and we'll all get to our destination safely. Trust me, we all will. If it's 3 days, if it's 7 days, some of you will go 10 days, and some of you will go 21 days, and some of you will want to go beyond that. Like, I'm not ready for 40 days. That's my next step. But 21 is enough for me right now. But there are some of you that will say, you know what, hey, I'm really dealing with some real serious medical issues right now. I'm feeling real good during this fast. I think I want to take it to the next level. I think I can go 40. God bless you. You can still be in touch with us. We'll be glad to walk you through it. So anyway, I just want to applaud you all, and I congratulate you all for having the courage to take on this fast.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll talk to you in the morning, and don't be late. Let us know if you're able to make it, and we won't be there for Super Bowl night, but we'll do it again the next morning. So
Right.
talk to you all later.
All right, that's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So whatever that means to you, we'll be starting sharp. Try to get on a little early because we can only house like 10 people at a time. So,
Right, and then the rest
try
of you
your
can
best
see it
to
on
get on.
YouTube.
Right. If not, you watch it on YouTube. All right. Thank you. Love
All
you. Good
right,
night.
peace.
Scott, thanks.
No problem. Later.